Boom. Got these right here from Blackwater Ammunition. It's called the Heavy Hitter. It is a 1 ounce poly-wrapped steel saboted slug. 1,875 feet per second. 1 ounce. That's a little bit of energy. Of course, we're going to have to run this thing through some ballistic gel. We're going to have to hit it some water jugs. And of course, we're going to have to try to see if we can't defeat a Kevlar panel. Of course, I've got the perfect delivery device. Wait, not that one. Pigstick. I've got to turn her kind of off angle here to get the whole thing to fit in frame because Pigstick is large and in charge. If you don't know who Pigstick is, I'll leave video links below. Of course, Mark Novak from Anvil Gunsmithing put Pigstick in my hands one day. He said, you're going to take that back to Tennessee and you're going to have some adventures with it. And boy, have I. I've put meat in the freezer. I've done all sorts of cool stuff, and I have had a great time. Of course, Pigstick is a really good cuddler too. I really like Pigstick. Man, this thing is a ton of fun. He has hand checkered the stocks. The wood is gorgeous. Matter of fact, this thing just made the trek back home. Just like any fine piece of equipment, I turned her back over for some maintenance. Mark went through, put a little TLC on her, and she is ready to go. And of course, the appeal behind Pigstick here is the fact that it has this fully rifled barrel. Those saboted steel slugs, this barrel should prove to be a lot of fun. So let's go ahead and shut our gobs, get to blasting some stuff. So of course, to make this a real world evaluation, I'm gonna back up to 30 yards and I am gonna yeet these 1 ounce steel slugs into a 16-inch ballistic gel backed up with several gallons of water. Let's go. So my GoPro turned itself off, which is super freaking aggravating, so you guys get some slow motion footage to replace what was lost. For my next disappearing act. Oh, I knew that table wasn't long for this world, but boy, it went out catastrophically. I'm definitely digging that. Let's go over here. Let's see what we've got. So walking up, the first thing I see is the Sabot / follower. That is pretty neat. Looks very deformed. 1,679 feet per second and 1 decimated table. Oh, this is great. So what do we have here? Looks like we put a hole in one. This one has got a hole in it, and oh no, that's pretty low. So what else? Uh-oh. I hope we captured a slug. I don't think we did. So, uh-oh. What do we have? I am going to have to use a magnet. All right, clear that thing back up for you so you can see it really well. So right here, we got a very small neck. I mean, this thing just maybe about 3/4 of an inch before it started blowing out. And man, that is the biggest stretch cavity I've seen yet. Of course, it turns off to much of nothing. I think it started petering out pretty well toward the end of the block. But that is a massive wound channel right there. Could you imagine all of the stretch that goes on behind that? That is pretty wicked. Of course, we got some answers as to our deformation here on our sabot. So the fact that this thing looks melted, it shows right here on the front of the block. Let me change my angle. So now right here, this big ring, which is actually raised out, it's pretty wild. But all of that deformation there was probably just a ton of friction that caused that sabot to deform. Because, you know, originally it would have been really tight around the slug like that. Of course, we've got a slug-sized hole. Golly bum. That is massive. I can't wait to get calipers on that when I get home. Of course, here in a little bit, I'll display that information. Now, right here must be some other type of follower from behind it or something, unless this thing bounced around. I'm not sure. We'll have to look at the slow motion footage and see. But that is pretty incredible right there. So I went ahead and bit the bullet, literally, and cut a fresh one out. When I weighed this, I thought, no, surely we did not lose that much weight. This is advertised as a 1 ounce slug. 1 ounce weighs 437.5 grains. When I weighed this, the fired one, it was 345.8. And I said, wow, that is a huge difference. So I went ahead. I really wanted to shoot this, but I had to be as true as I could. So I went ahead and wasted basically a few dollars on this projectile and cut it out. This, as new, weighs 347.5 grains. That is 90 grains shy of 1 ounce. And it might just be as simple as superimposing the numbers, 437.5 versus 347.5. But now, fired, I'm showing a 345.8 grain weight fired. Of course, 345.7 brand new. So most of that is in the plastic. The projectile itself, the slug here, is 268 grains. The fired sabot was 79.5. So basically, I did 2 different energies. I went ahead and did the muzzle energy, just the slug, muzzle energy with the sabot. Because if you notice in the video, the sabot leaves as soon as it touches the gel, and it left as soon as it touched the Kevlar panel. So I don't really think that this extra 79.5 grains of weight really helps anything. So I'm showing 1,671 foot-pounds of energy minus the sabot, 2,172 foot-pounds of energy with the sabot. Now, 1671 is nothing to laugh at all. And of course, a pump action would probably give you more velocity. You know, we're showing about 200 feet per second slower than advertised. And I think that's to blame on the Remington 1100 action. With a pump, the action stays locked up. With a semi, we're uncorking the barrel and losing a little bit of velocity. And that would explain why even the Hornadies that I'm running through Pigstick are about 200 feet slower than the box. So that is what we're looking at. Now, as for the dimensions of the slug, we're 0.958 long, 0.653 around, and then our diameter here is 0.352. So basically, just to get your diameter, look at a 9mm or a 38 special. It's going to be really dang close. So you can grab one of those, because I know you got one of those at home, and use it for comparison, and it'll give you a really good approximate eyeball of the actual size of this. All right, we don't have too many places that aren't shot up. I'm gonna try for right there, and I've got a couple water jugs behind it, and hopefully my GoPro doesn't wig out again. Let's do this thing. That went straight through. I am pretty sure of that. Let's go check this out. Oh yeah, it is pretty flipping obvious that that went straight through. Dude, that is freaking incredible. So just split that thing wide open. And I'm guessing this is the second one. And yeah, it exited. There's the hole there. I'm gonna have to do some more magnet action. These things are pretty awesome. Kevlar panel, no match for Pigstick and steel slugs. Boom, I dig it. Of course, you got to check out my tripod on a tripod. Isn't that goofy? So it looks like my job here is done. I have done enough damage. We have defeated a Kevlar panel. We've blown up a freaking table. We've splattered water jugs all over the place. I'm gonna gather the unharmed ones up and save them for another project. And of course, I'm gonna lick my wounds. Counting the ballistic gel block and all of the things we've done here today, we've easily blew a couple $100. But all right, guys, speaking of easily blew a couple $100, if you will check out the Linktree links below. Those are affiliate codes. Basically, you go to the websites. They're all vetted websites. You spend the money you're already spending, and I get a small kickback. So it literally costs you nothing to help the channel out when you're already spending what you're getting, whether you get your guns, your camouflage, or your gear, whatever. So big thanks to all of you that have done that. That is really awesome. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please hit that thumbs up. Leave me an awesome comment to help with the algorithm. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. We'll see you next video. I love you. Looks like we got a beaver. Boy, look at that. Done chewed all sorts of stuff up. He is ambitious if he wants that tree. Oh, that's funny. I like maple too, beaver. But dude, that's got to take a lot of time to sit out here with those cheese grater teeth and sit there and do that. That is a lot of square footage. Too cool.